So now let's talk about the sweep tool again in detail. So we have seen the basics. Now let's see other options that we have here. So I'll go to this one here. As you can see, we have a path and then we have a sketch profile, but this sketch profile is not on this path. It's at some distance, but still using this, we can create a sweep profile. So let's go to sweep and select a sketch profile and start with the profile here and then select the path. And as you can see, it will still create this sweep, and it is as if this has moved your path right along this center, and it will just create an offset and then it will just sweep it along that path. So that's how it's creating it. Click OK and we have the sweep. Now there is another thing we can do with this. So I'll press Ctrl Z, sweep, here is the profile and here is the path. Now we can add a twist value, and when you add a twist value, this profile will twist along this path, kind of like a coil. So here for that, I'll go to options, and here we have this profile twist option. Just select and specify this, specify twist value. All right, with that twist value specified, now we have options of selecting twist value using degrees, radians or revolutions. So any of these methods are just fine. If you select degree, you can specify any degree value. For example, maybe 1800 degrees. So it need not be exactly equal to 360 or maybe less than that. You can use any degrees. And so now it will make 1800 degree revolution from this point to this. Alternatively, you can go to revolutions and specify number of revolutions. It is approximately 5. Let's make it 9. And here we are. So higher the value, higher the number of revolutions, more will be the twists. But in this case, it is very resource intensive, and at some point it may fail because of the profile that we are creating. So whenever you are making this kind of thing, just make sure that the profile direction is appropriate, and also it's not very complicated like the one which I've used. You can use a circle or an ellipse to make it easier. So with these options, I'll now click OK, and here we are. We have got a sweep with the twist along that path. All right, now let's see the second option here. So here I have a path, and on this path, I am going to create a sweep right along this path. But if I try creating a sweep, SolidWorks will not create it along this entire path because this path is divided into 3 separate planes. But I want it from this point to this. Now for that, we need to first merge these 3 paths into one, and we can do that using composite curve. So let's go to curve and select composite curve, and I'm going to select the first, second and third and click OK. So with all the 3 edges selected, we now have a single composite curve which we can use as a path. So that's now selected. How about we create a plane as well here? So I'll go to reference geometry, plane, and right along this edge at this point we want a plane. So now we have a plane, we can use it to create our profile. So using this, I'm going to create a circle. All right, and I'm just going to make it this big. All right, now since this is a circular profile, you can also ignore making it because we directly have a sweep option where we can use circular profile. So let's change this profile to maybe an ellipse. So let's just be a little creative here. So I'm just going to select ellipse now instead of selecting a circle. There we are. Okay, now that's better. So exit out of this sketch, and now we are going to just sweep this profile along this new path which we created. So let's go to feature and sweep. Now the sketch profile is ellipse and the path is this composite curve. And there we are. It is just going to sweep right along this path. Okay, so it is sweeping along this path, but now we can make small adjustments here. Just look at this starting point. It is keeping this profile exactly along the plane, but what if you want to start this profile along this plane, and also what if you just want to end this profile here? So because at the end point also it is just moving beyond this point, but we want to end it right here. So in that case, you can go to options and select align with end faces. Just check this box and SolidWorks will align this starting point and end point with respect to the faces. So here also, when you look at the starting point, look at this, it will now align with this face. So this checkbox will ensure that it is aligned with start and end faces. Click OK, and here we are. This is what we've got. All right, let's see what next we have. So again, I'll press Ctrl Z here to get back to the original sketch. And let's go to sweep. Again, I'll select the sweep, ellipse, and then the path. All right, these two are selected. Let's go to option, and here we'll see this option now, the profile orientation. Currently follow path is selected, and when you select follow path, sweep will just follow the path. So this profile will move right along this path, and when the path changes, the profile will change accordingly. So look at this. Here we have this thing perpendicular to this path, and here also if you look at this, it is again perpendicular. So this line is perpendicular to this one. So it is changing its direction with respect to path. If however you don't want that, then change this to keep normal constant, and now it is not going to change the direction. So here this is the original orientation, and even when the path is changing, the original orientation is not changing with it. So look at this. Here this is the direction, again the same direction and same. So it is going to create this kind of path and will remain constant in direction if you select keep normal constant selected. And we'll get this kind of weird profile here. Once again, here also you can use align with end faces, just in case you wanted to align with the starting and end faces. And as you can also see, we have several different tangents faces here. So we are going to end up with 3 separate faces. If you want to merge them into one, you can also check this box. That's going to create one single smooth profile. So with this one, we are going to end up with this kind of profile because it is always parallel to the starting profile no matter what you select. So that's another way of creating sweep. So if you want this kind of profile, you can use this option.